Edge at 11 starts now.
Breaking news tonight on The Edge. We are following a deadly shooting on Detroit's east side that happened shortly before 8 p.m. on Stoddard Street near 8 Mile and Van Dyke. Police say the victim is a 22-year-old man. They were unresponsive when medics arrived. No word on a suspect at this point, but stay with Fox 2 for updates.
Well, tonight, parents in Bloomfield Township are on edge after a stranger danger incident.
Police say a man driving an older model van approached two kids as they walked home from school. Fox News' Camila Mary shows us who to look out for.
Police in Bloomfield Township on the lookout for this gray Ford van. Two middle school students walking home from the bus stop Wednesday say a stranger driving the van pulled up to them and asked them if they had a phone. It happened in the area of Peabody and Tall Oaks Drive around 3:45 p.m. Police say the students did not engage with the man, instead choosing to run home and tell their parents what happened.
I would feel weird. I'm glad that the kid got a weird feeling. That isn't a normal thing. Adults shouldn't ask children for help.
Wednesday's incident raising awareness about stranger danger for people of all ages.
I'm always nervous, myself. And when you approached me, I'm like, who's that? And, I saw the label, so it's okay.
But you can never be too careful. Sally Walker started teaching her son about stranger danger at a very young age.
They're getting to 12 years old, middle school. They don't want to go in the store. They want to stay in the car. I lock them in and tell them, I don't even care if the police come to the window. Tell them to come in the store and find me. You don't open the door for anyone.
On guard all the time. That's my point of view. Even getting in my car, I'm, aware. I'm doing groceries, loading them up. I watch.
Back to the man driving the van. He is described as white, 20 to 30 years old, wearing a backwards baseball cap. The van, an older model with rust spots, specifically on the grill.
And a lot of good advice from both of the women in that story. Meanwhile, it is a good time to talk to your kids about stranger danger and to teach them. It's never too early to teach them what to do and how to get away from strangers. Camila Mary on The Edge.
Detroit police need your help after two grisly discoveries on the city's west side. Bodies were found in two vacant structures. On December 6th, a male victim was found in an old public building on Beachton Street. And on December 11th, a woman's remains were found in the basement of a vacant house on Apple-Line. Both victims have not been identified, and those have been ruled as homicides.
My hearts go out to the parents and the family members because someone lost a son, a brother. It just needs to stop, honestly.
An early morning shooting leaves a teenager dead on Detroit's east side. It happened outside a BP gas station at Mack and Buckingham. Police say a 17-year-old boy was shot after a confrontation. He tried to drive away but crashed into a utility pole, and then he died inside the vehicle. Another person was inside the car but ran from the scene. Make sure you call Crime Stoppers, though, if you have any information. That number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. An alarming report out of Washtenaw County tonight detailing racial disparities.
It finds police are 4 times more likely to seek criminal charges against black people compared to white people. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin has a closer look.
Certainly when we hear these types of numbers, it alarms most of the general public. But the reality is, as African Americans, we live this experience every day.
Civil rights activist Keon Payton reacts to a new report that says law enforcement agencies in Washtenaw County are over 4 times more likely to see criminal charges for black people than white people. Payton is the founder of the Institute of Trauma and Economic Justice.
In 2010, Michelle Alexander produced the book, The New Jim Crow, which we know has systemically impacted African Americans with incarceration for many, many generations, where essentially mass incarceration has become the new form of slavery.
The report actually comes from the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office itself, with the legwork being done by U of M Law School researchers. Prosecutor Ellie Savitz says it's all about being open.
I'm interested right now in letting the data speak for itself. I believe we need to be transparent. I believe we need to be honest about what's going on in the system and where we see inequities that we can address.
The study looked at 35,000 case files between 2017 and 2022. Here's the breakdown. It says black people appear in 49.9% of police requests for criminal charges, but make up only 12.2% of Washtenaw County residents. By comparison, white people appear in 47.8% of charging requests and make up 70% of the county's population.
Now that we've identified some of the potential disparities in the system, that's the next step to see, are these disparities that are potentially explained by individual evidence in a particular case, or is there something else going on here?
Many black community activists say this report is a good start toward much needed reform.
So I'm very happy that the prosecutor in Washtenaw County has published this transparent report, and I'm just hopeful that other prosecutors around the state will do the same. And in fact, I think that Governor Whitmer ought to really declare a state of emergency to address this issue so that all of our counties can really begin to collect the data and the facts around this issue.
And we'll see if that happens. We do know the ACLU provided the funding for this study. In Ann Arbor, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
A legal blow for former President Donald Trump.
A judge orders him to pay millions of dollars in his civil fraud case.
Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
Judge Arthur Engoron found Trump lied about his business assets to get better loans. Engoron also ruled that Trump can't run any businesses in New York for 3 years. The former president criticizing New York officials following the decision.
These are corrupt people. These are people that shouldn't be allowed to do the things they do. And they're using this as weaponization against a political opponent who's up a lot in the polls.
Eric and Donald Trump Jr. also on the hook. They were ordered to pay $4 million each from a 2022 sale of the Trump Hotel in Washington.
Meantime, Trump will be making a campaign stop tomorrow in Metro Detroit. The former president will hold a rally at Elite Jet Center at Oakland County International Airport. Trump's visit will come just 10 days ahead of the Michigan primary. He's won every contest so far with a commanding lead in the polls over former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Saturday's event is scheduled for 7 p.m. Doors open at 4.
It's a chilly night across Metro Detroit.
It certainly is, and tomorrow isn't going to be a lot better. In fact, Weather Authority Stephanie Mead is talking about some really cold temperatures, and she's looking at our weekend forecast. Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah, so it does get a little colder as we head through the first half of the weekend, and then subtle improvements heading through the day on Sunday and then into next week, too. We just have to get past tomorrow. 31 degrees, forecasted high. That's what we hit today. The low at 24, so we're pretty much where we should be for this time of year. A few degrees here and there, but very winter-like day here across the state. Otherwise, expect to see that chance of a few flurries take us through the later part of this evening overnight as well. Most of us right now settling into the 20s with feel-like temps mainly in the mid to upper teens. Here in the metro area, we're in the low 20s. We do have a few snow showers on tap right now, mainly out near western parts of the state. They're getting a few lake effect snow bands there from it looks like the Grand Rapids area all the way down to South Benton or the South Haven area rather. Additional snow showers out near western parts of the viewing area now tracking to the south and southeast. This main complex, though, that gave quite a bit of heavy snow for those out near central Indiana and Ohio, now tracking out towards the east. So that's starting to leave us alone here across the Ohio Valley. And as we head through this weekend, we do have that opportunity here and there for a stray flurry, but nothing that's going to tack on in terms of accumulation over the next couple of hours. And then during the day on Sunday, we should die down any flurry opportunities. Heading into Monday, we should be completely clear of that. 20 degrees tonight for an overnight low. Mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few snowflakes flying around. And here are our numbers in terms of wind chill factors. Early Saturday morning, feeling like we're anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees above zero. So we're above the zero mark. There could be a few spots a bit closer to Lake St. Clair and Lake Erie where we do see those numbers a bit closer to the middle teens. 28 degrees tomorrow for our forecasted high. A few flurries, but nothing adding to accumulations that we saw yesterday, rather. Numbers on Sunday, low 40s. sun and clouds in the mix, and then showers arrive during the day on Thursday, potentially into Friday as well. We have that next chance for some snow to round out your work week. So kind of active by the end of next week. The extended forecast shows numbers in the 50s Tuesday into Wednesday, turning colder with maybe a few snow chances by Friday. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Stephanie. Well, a construction alert for drivers this weekend. Starting tomorrow morning, 696 will be down to 2 lanes in both directions between I-275 and the Lodge Freeway. Both directions will also shift to the eastbound side of the freeway, while crews rebuild the westbound side. Meanwhile, I-94 in Detroit will be closed in both directions tomorrow morning from 7 to 9. The closure will be between Connor and Chalmers. Drivers should expect multiple stops and delays. Well, mystery almost solved in the theft of several farm animals on Detroit's east side. We first brought you this story last week, I should say, on The Edge. The bad guys using a trailer to steal them.
I was just sleeping at my house, and then I got this call, and I got to go rush over here and grab these guys. It's hard for me to comprehend it, really, that it's even, like, really happening.
What's he talking about? Thieves stole the animals from Pingree Farms on 7 Mile near 75. A bull, a sheep, a cow, a goat, and a calf gone in the dead of night. The bull and the sheep were found safe. It's believed they were inside a trailer when someone opened the doors and let them out. The goat and the calf are still missing. The case is still under investigation.